Can you see my screen?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you cannot? No?
Yeah, now we can see it.
Yeah. So last time we discussed about S3 bucket, right? So in the S3 bucket, what were the things we discussed? It's an object storage. What is S3 bucket means? Simple storage. Services. There is some latency when storing. And S3 links are being used in deploying apps. This we saw in AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Right. Now last time we started to upload something in S3 bucket. So let's go into S3 bucket. And you have to create a bucket. Always you have to give some unique name. So we'll call it testing bucket. Now when there is block all public access, you cannot access the object. Okay. So let's keep it like this only. Then we will change after seeing what is happening with this. Your default encryption. So what is encryption, Brandon? Hello.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
What is encryption?
Encryption is basically put in codes into like a password.
Okay. Encryption is nothing but like if you're having
Sorry, can you zoom on your screen to make it a little bit bigger?
yeah.
Finding it hard reading what that.
So if you are having any data, you're changing it or encoding it. Now encoding is what? Let's say you have someone's password, which is, let's say, So here there will be a database, right? Now in this page, whenever the user clicks, enters his username, password, and he clicks submit, what will happen? What kind of request will go through? Ken?
I'm so sorry. Can you say that again?
Yeah, what kind of request will be happening here? HTTP request.
To be a GET request.
It will be a post request, right? If uploading the information.
Yep, that'll be post.
Now his name will be stored and password will be stored. Now if some hacker let's say a hacker wants to access this information. So if he gets his hands on this database, he will get the password and he will get the username and he will be able to log in and get all the information, right? Now what websites do or developers do to avoid this is that they encrypt this. So what they can use any kind of encryption. So let's say you have John Doe here, okay? Could be encrypted as I'm just taking one letter forward, let's say I P I O and three numbers forward, 4, 5, 6, 7. So first they will encode it, then they will save it. Now even though the hacker is getting the password, if he types this password here, it will never be going through. So what happens is that now whenever the user is logging in with this password, this will be converted into using an then this will be compared to this and then only he will be logged. Any doubts here, Larry?
Sorry, come again.
Any doubts here?
I'm just trying to catch up since I gave you guys today, but I'm getting along.
Okay. Ken, any doubt here?
No, I'm okay.
Okay. Now to turn this back to a decryption key is used. Okay. So this is about the encryption. Now we are creating a bucket. So for now we are disabling the encryption, but each of these again costs a lot. So if you want to determine the cost, there is we are using default parameters just like that. And if you see the advanced settings, you can lock an object. So what is the locking an object? So whenever you lock an object, they can be protected from deletion or overwritten. So let's create the bucket. So now the object is created. Here you can see that we don't have anything in the bucket. So let's upload something. You can either add directly a folder or you can add a file. If you add a file, I'm adding this. So here we are having something called as bucket versioning. Larry, can you tell me what is bucket versioning?
Just trying to go through my notes of last time. I'm not sure. Not sure.
Brandon, can you tell me what is versioning? Bucket versioning?
I'm not sure either.
Okay. So let's go through it one more time. Let's say you are having an S3 bucket where you have stored an image. So you uploaded an image, okay, and then you upload another image one, and another image two. Now let's after some time you deleted one of the image. Now again you want that image back, and you did not have a backup of that image. Okay, now can you get the image? No. So image is gone. No, you cannot recover it. But if you are versioning, that means what you're doing is you're having version 1 of bucket, and this will become your version 2. So whenever you are asked to access, okay, and you want the image back, then you can just go to version 1 and back up the like get the image back. If you don't version, whatever you delete is gone. Any doubts here, Ken?
A quick question.
Yes.
So these different versions that comes up with different images, is it from the people that wrote the programming? Are they the ones that will determine how they save the files to reflect the versions, or I don't get exactly how it's going to be automatically?
So what happens is that so if you are enabling bucket versioning, okay, so whenever you are uploading the an image to the bucket, okay, or whenever you're uploading a file to the bucket, that will become a new version automatically. So in the starting, let's say you were uploading all the 3 images one at once, okay. So that will become an version, and you're deleting again, that will become a version. Or if you are uploading it singly, then it will become 1, 2, 3 versions like that. So let's see how it works. Now, if I upload it, the uploading is done. Now, if I go and open the bucket, so here is the URL. So you'll see that we are getting access denied. Okay, that means we don't have permission to access it. So we'll go back to our bucket. And you will see here there are properties and permissions. Go to permissions, and you see that there is block called public access. So now we are giving the public access. Again, you'll see that still we are not allowed. So we gave the public access to the bucket. Okay, but the object also needs to have the access. So when you go into permissions again, you'll see something called as bucket policy. And here we have to write a new policy. Now how we will write the policy? Amazon made it easier for us. So there is something called as policy generator. You go to policy generator, and in the policy generator, you'll see that there is, first of all, you have to give the policy type. Now the page is loading. Just give me a second. So as of now, we are using S3, so we are using S3 bucket policy. So you are generating an S3 bucket policy. Now effect is nothing but whatever the policy you are generating, it should be effective or not immediately. So for that, now principle is that here you can provide different user IDs. For now we are using for all of the users, so you'll just use star. Star means that everything. Now you're having actions. So from S3 you want to get an object. So you'll search for get object, and it's asking for Amazon resource name. Okay. So for every S3 bucket, there is something called as bucket ARN, and you'll see that bucket ARN is here. You'll just copy this bucket ARN and put it here. And now you want to give this permissions to all the objects. So you'll just put a slash and star. Now you'll just put add statement. Now it's asking you to generate the policy. Generate it. Copy this and you'll copy this policy here. And you'll just click on save changes. Now here if you see there is something called as principal. Here you can just make a list whenever you are having many account numbers. So if you go here, the account ID. So you can just make a list. We'll do this also. But for now, we'll allow for all of them. You can see that it is saying publicly accessible. Now go to the objects. So now the image is visible, right? So Larry, how many permissions we have given? Hello?
Hi, Annie. Yeah, no, I was following up until when you moved to this. I think the other screen where you were, I got completely lost from that screen, so I was not able to follow.
Yeah, so I'll tell you what is happening. So we have updated an image here, right? Now this image by default was having blocked public access. So no one can access it. Now what we did, we went to permissions. Not here. We went to bucket permissions. Till here everyone is following. And what we did, we edited, we went to edit and we removed all the block all public access. So what this did is gave access to bucket for all. Now the problem is that the bucket has got an access, but the image or but the objects in the bucket they don't have the permissions. Now for that, what we do is we use this bucket policy. So in bucket policy, you have so many things. Okay. So for now, you want to just get the object. Okay. Now, whenever you want to make a bucket policy, you get into this page where you have to select that policy type. Why we are selecting S3 bucket policy? Because we want to make a policy for S3 bucket, right? Again,
Right.
now principal is nothing but to which user you want to make this policy for. So as of now, we did not discuss any identity access management. So for now, we are using all of them. For all of them, you use star. This means that everyone. And AWS service is already S3 because you selected S3 bucket policy. Now in the actions, we are trying to get an object from the S3 bucket. So we are using get object. If you scroll down, you'll see get object. And what is ARN? So whenever you are having a S3 bucket, there is an ARN associated with it. So if you go into edit here, you'll see the ARN. So this is the unique ID of the bucket, which here you are providing. And this get object permissions will be added to this particular bucket. And how we are specifying that it's a public access by giving the star. And whenever you are providing the ARN also, this is bucket ARN. And and in this bucket you might have many objects. Let's say I only wanted to provide for one image. I would have used just jpg. But what I wanted is for all the objects I want the permission, so I'm using star. So whenever I'm providing this ARN plus star, that means I'm telling all the objects are getting the same permissions and you're generating a policy. And you, after getting the policy, you're just copy pasting the policy here and again doing this generate policy, and the policy is getting added. Till here is clear, Larry?
Yes, yes.
Now there's an interesting thing about S3 bucket. Okay, it can again help you deploy a static website. Okay. Now let's say I'm having a static website. Okay, I'll show the website. So you can see the website, right? You are having some Hillary Clinton pic and testing. Click here. Can you see it, Larry? Brandon?
Yes, I see it.
So in this bucket, if I'm uploading this, upload, and let's say I'm just adding files. I have two, one is index and another is Hillary Clinton pic. So I'm adding an HTML page and JPEG. And If you go into properties, you'll see this all we discussed already. Mm. Now I'll just upload it. Now the uploading is done. Now if you see into properties, if you go and come down, you'll see it's saying static website hosting. Now you'll just go to edit and you'll add to enable. It's telling you to you are hosting a static website, and in the index document you have to specify the page which you want to open. So index.html. Why we are taking index.html, Ken? Brandon, why we are taking index.html?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah, why we are taking index.html here? Index document. Because we
I'm not
uploaded
sure.
our uploaded HTML file is index.html, right?
Okay.
So this is the file you want to open as a web page. So that's why we are taking index.html. Now if you save it, you'll see that again if you go, you'll see there is a link provided. Now you can just click on this link each time you want to open the website and it will open. Okay, now let's see what this website, like what an HTML page is. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
So if you see the index.html contains just this, okay, and any HTML code will contain head, body. So you will get so as a AWS architect, you don't need to know how HTML works, but you need to know what is there in HTML file. Okay, so there is just a link and there is an image. Okay, this image is in the same folder, so we are able to see it. So if I change this image, everything will change. So if I make it AWS And again, if I try to open the website, here you'll see that the image has changed. Right. So whenever you are having an HTML file with an image, the images are separate. Okay. Now here, what you need to understand.
Yannick,
Yeah.
we're not seeing the image. We're not seeing the images. We're only seeing the VS Code screen.
Oh, you're only seeing the VS Code.
Yeah.
So we change the image till there. It's fine, right? So let me just. Now,
Yes.
so this was the image, and now you are
Uh,
seeing this image, right? So
yes.
you need that HTML file along with the images. So that's why we use the image also. Like I used a Hillary Clinton. So I use the image also. Now let's see the architecture of HTML usually. So whenever you want to deploy a website, there is one index.html. Assets are nothing but images attached to it. And there is error.html. So what this error.html does is, like, whenever you're not able to find the web page, or whenever there is something missing, then it will give you error. So now in our bucket, we are having only index.html. Now let me just make an error.html. You're seeing my VS Code, right? So
Yes.
I'll just make an error.html. Now let's say here we are adding an image.
Yannick,
Hi.
I'm just wondering because you're creating the error.html file.
Yeah.
Is this something that we should know how to do?
No, they will give it to you.
So who's responsible for creating these files?
Developer.
Because you're creating. Okay. So what will be our role? Only to
Yeah.
upload into the S3 bucket? Okay.
Yeah. You should know how to upload it.
Okay. Okay. So we don't need to know how to create these files.
Yes.
Okay.
So whenever there is an error, so let's just call it an error page. Now let me just again go back. Let's open the error. So you can see it's showing an error, right? Now what I'll do, I'll just delete index, Hillary. You'll go to actions. Let me just color the total size. A6 KB. Now index, Hillary, delete. Now again I'll upload the changed ones.
So Yannick, I have a question.
Yeah.
So when will we be required to only upload, information into a S3 bucket? And when will we be required to launch a static website?
It
Why
depends.
do we need a website?
Let's say you're having a client who wants to display uh, his products, okay, on a static website. So there nothing is dynamic, okay. He has to give some images and a website. So he will just ask you to do it. So in that, like many people are using static websites just to display their resume or just to display their portfolio. So in that sense, it's required.
So can you display the index HTML and the Yannick JPEG file together in one static, or should each object have their own website?
No, they can be displayed in one. Like let's say last time if the Hillary was there and indexed was there. So Hillary was
Yes.
included in the index. So there was Hillary. You can have many more images like that.
So can you show me how to do the index and the Yannick both together? Like when you're setting up the static website, I only saw one place to add only one, which was the index.
Yeah, for static website, you can only add one. Only one will be the index. Only index can be added. And it can be linked to many other things. Like I can include the Yagnik image in the index.
Yeah, how would you do that to include two?
You cannot do that. Like it's done by developer.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
I know to do it because I'm also a developer. So, but usually it is done by. So now again, you have to get the link for the static website. So again, you'll go into properties, scroll down. You'll see there is static website hosting. You'll go and edit host a static website index. Now you'll give here error.html and save. So you can see that the image is missing here. And why the image is missing? Because we don't have that image. So if you go, now it's giving an error because you're opening error.html. Here the main thing is that even though we have given that there is an error.html, okay, if you go into the edit, it is only written when an error occurs. Okay, so what could be an error? Okay, so in a website, like let's say we are having index.html. In this, you have image as a dependency. You could have font dependency. You could have style dependency. Okay. So sometimes what happens, some of these things might be missing. Now, when these things are missing, the website either will show an error on the page itself, like here we don't have any image, okay, or you can make a error page where if anything is missing, this error page will be shown. Okay. Now, what is the use of error page? It's actually helpful for you as a solutions architect. So Clara, can you tell me what is the use of error page?
She just stepped out.
Okay. Larry, can you say?
What was the question again?
What is the use of error page?
I'm not sure, but if I was to go by what it says, error page, it helps you to identify if there's an error or if something is wrong
Yeah.
with the website.
Yes, yes. So you are not a developer, right? You will never know. Like if you are not even an error page, you will know, we never know what is wrong with the page, right? So for that sense, we are having the error page. Now, this is how static website deployment is done. Now tell me, if I send this link to you, it should be available, like it should be accessible by everyone, right? So let's open this link. I'll send this to you and tell me if you are able to open it or not. Did you get the link? I have sent the link in the chat. Tell me if you are able to open it or not.
Yes, I was able to open it.
Now let's make some changes in the bucket. So we don't have the image, right? We'll upload the image. So I'll just add the AWS image, upload it. So now the image is also visible, right? You also try to refresh and you'll see that image is also visible.
Yes, it's visible.
So now what we'll do is again going to permissions, going to edit and block all the public access. Now try to open it. Are you able to open it?
No.
Because I blocked all public access. Right. Now you'll see that there is also individual access. Before going to the individual access, now let's see. Even the images are not be accessed. Okay. Now there are different block accesses, right? Block public access to buckets and objects rendered through new ACL. So ACLs we did not discuss. We'll discuss in the next class. But if I change this and confirm, now again you will be able to access everything. Now again you are able to access it, right?
Yes.
So again, there is principle here, okay? So here if I only give this account ID and save the changes. Now we have enabled bucket versioning. So let's go into metrics. Okay. So till here it is clear, right, everyone? Larry,
Yes.
Brandon, Brandon. Hello, Brandon.
Hi again.
Yeah, till here it's clear.
Um, I think I need to rewatch all of it, but I'm just confused. But it's okay. I'll rewatch it.
Okay, where you are confused? Okay, so actually today what you need to do is make an S3 bucket. Okay, upload your image, any image, to the bucket and send the link in the group. Everyone should be able to access the image you sent. Okay, then upload a static website onto the S3 bucket. So this is today's homework. Okay, till morning, this should be done. I'll upload the image, sorry, upload the video, today's video, in 1 hour, but you should be able to do it. And this static website I'll be sending you in a zip file. Okay, Brandon,
Yeah.
Ken,
Okay.
Larry, hello, Larry.
And I remember suggested that we're gonna be watching some videos before the class. I think
Yeah, so
help us.
yeah, uh, for the next class you'll get it. This is the topic which cannot be kind of like watched and done, so we did not create, but from now you'll get it. uh, for this also you'll get a for doing this also you'll get a video of today, so watch it and please send this till tomorrow, like before class. Okay, this is the assignment. So all right, complete this.